Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast, where we discuss and analyze your favorite marble sports. From JMR Marble League to I'll Go Do tournaments, we'll make sure you never miss the action. All marble sports, all the time, right here on the MSW Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast. My name is and always will be Brendan.
And my name will and always be Commander Wolf.
There you go. Yeah, we are unchanging, but while we are unchanging, the marbles and the marble sports community is always changing, always improving, always with new dramas to tackle. And in this intro today, I want to touch real quickly on some Marble Mania, as we will not cover that much today in the full episode, but I want to touch on a comment I got on the recent episode. But before that, I want to mention that it's been cold lately. I've gotten a lot of snow in our area, and for you, Waft, down in Texas, there's been that freak of nature, like freezing down there, right?
Record low temperatures. It's never been this cold. The roads are frozen, were frozen over. And school even was canceled actually for the entire week last week. It was crazy. We've never had anything. I haven't seen snow in almost a decade. I think
that's unbelievable. So yeah, it's been tough for you guys down there. I know especially with the power and things like that. So I hope that gets better for you and anybody else living in that area. I hope things get better. I know some of the power situation down there, just because it wasn't prepared for the cold, has been breaking down a little bit, but
fortunately, on my end, I guess the power company associated with my apartment was very good. I didn't suffer any power outages. The worst thing I had was one of the main pipes, I think, was freezing over, so it took forever to get my water warmed up, and then the water pressure was low, but it was fixed that day, and so I just kept my water running to keep it from freezing, and so I was one of the very fortunate ones. I still try to conserve my electricity usage just in case. But I was definitely lucky compared to most others, so.
Yeah, so, hopefully Waf and everyone else down there can get through this no problem. And yeah, I just hope the snow goes away. I'm not a big fan of the cold. A little bit, it's okay, but when it just starts to build up for years and years, I'm just like, not really all about it. But anyways, I do want to touch on something really quickly before we get out of the intro here, and someone who actually has seen Marble Mania, who lives in a place in the world where they can view the particular show, commented on our previous episode saying, quote, "To play devil's advocate, having seen the first episode of Marble Mania, I might be able to clear up that Marble Mania is a game show, not a sport. The game show is structured like this. 3 Dutch celebrities compete in marble-related games, and according to their performance in the games, they're awarded marbles in the upcoming race. First, 3 marbles. Second, 2, third, 1. They are awarded points based on finishing positions. First 6, second 5, and so on. There are a total of 3 races before the finale, and then in the finale, the leader gets 3,000 marbles, the second place 2,000, and the last place 1,000. They're divided in 3 groups and battle for money of their chosen charity. That's the game show. And for events, they are marble games that are played by the celebrities. There are actually some unique ones. First challenge in episode 1 was a penalty shootout, football, soccer kind of shootout. The second is basically a panic paint. Bad explanation, but I can't explain it better. And even though curling is a JMR event, they're slightly different here since it's always closest to the center to count instead of point-based like JMR, being the discs, plus being the discs and being controlled by people. Although I do disagree with the actions of Demol, I do feel the program is slightly misrepresented in the Reddit post shown. Well, Joas Von Driel, when you write in and give us this new development and information where we can actually clearly understand the show at hand, I gotta be honest, it is looking a little bit better for Marble Mania. I do agree with you. The actions of John DeMol to JMR contract-wise are very bad. Those will never be excused no matter what you do with Marble Mania. but the show itself, Marble Mania, now being more game show style, having more the celebrities, and then there's charity donations. It seems to be quite a bit different idea than JMR. I will say there are some similarities. To pretend like no inspiration was taken from JMR would be ignorant in my opinion, but I will say it seems like it's not exactly Marbula 1, but now on a different TV show. So I do want to just give credence to this comment. I want people to understand that this comment is directly from a person who actually can watch it on TV in their own location. And so has a accurate representation of what the show actually is. Does that excuse, of course, the actions of DeMol? No, it does not. And that's still a problem, and that's still a reason why I'm not a big fan of Marble Mania, because of the actions it's shrouded in. But the actual content itself seems to be quite a different representation than Gels Marble Runs produces. So with this email, I have to be like 50-50. 50% means like it's okay. 50% means like it's shrouded in a negative relationship with negative past actions. So that's going to be my opinion on it for now. Maybe this will be revisited at some point. I'm sure it will be touched on here and there. As we know, the Fubica drama was taken care of an episode and then touched on in many others after it, so it will probably come back up. But with that being said, Johnny Marble's got some exciting news for us this week. Marbula 1 is back and fast, and we got a lot to talk about regarding that today, so I'm excited to bring you guys through that. But first of all, Johnny Marble with the news this week.
Hello, Marble Sports fans! I am Johnny Marble, and as always, I'm coming to you for MSW. Let's get right into the news. Marbula 1 Season 2 has returned with GP7, the Rainforest, and it was quite heated in more ways than one. In lap 5, Razzie came to a stop after crashing into Rima, who had nearly stopped themselves, and so the safety marble was deployed to get them going again. They were successful, but Razzie was far behind and victory was all but impossible. Razzie's struggles didn't end there though. As the two marbles battling for first, Speedy and Red-Eye were now right on their tail and threatened to lap them. Razzie tried their best to avoid it, resulting in 2 blue flags toward them for obstructing the lead of marbles. They very well could have gotten a third, but the race had ended before they could be penalized. The race ended with Red-Eye in first, Speedy in second, and Bolt in third. However, there was one final surprise in this race, as Limelight got stuck on the final lap in the same place Razzie did, allowing Razzie to miraculously finish 15th. It just goes to show that truly anything can happen on the track, and that these racers should never let up until they've made it to the end. Well guys, the news is short, but hey, I always enjoy our time together. I've been Johnny Marble, you have been the best fans in the world. Let's kick it on back, and continue now with the podcast.
We have returned from the news with Johnny Marble. Thank you, Johnny Marble, for bringing us the excitement of the news, as you always do. We can always count on you to bring it to us very accurately and very flamboyantly. I don't know if that's the word, but just with a lot of excitement, however you want to see it, whatever the most kind words to say that you are awesome, those are the words that I want to use right now. So thank you, Johnny Marble, for the millionth time. Let's get into the show. Savage Speeders. You knew that was going to be the first team I was going to mention into the show, because, wow, yep. I said on the Twitter, I don't post on Twitter a lot, but I posted a couple days ago, I said their performance in the qualifiers, not even talking about race 7, I'm going to talk about the qualifiers. Their performance in the qualifiers in the Race Force GP would be the kind of bellwether for what we were going to see for the Savage Speeders in the back half of this season. And what do we get? We get a second place qualifying position. We get the Savage Speeders leading for about half the race. Yes, Red Eye gets in front, but Red Eye, actually the Crazy Cat's Eyes in general, Red Eye and Yellow Eye, are the two best Marbula 1 racers ever. Way even better than the Savage Speeders. That's just now a fact now. But besides Red Eye, who's Speedy multiple times almost got around, and we'll talk about the Raspberry Racer situation in a little bit. Savage Speeders have come back with a fury. I'm, of course, extremely worried about Rapidly, because Rapidly has not been nearly as good and has not had the potential Speedy has this Marbula 1 season. But to see them come out and set that bar back high and come out and take second place and show that the Savage Speeders are not here to lay down and die just yet, that is exactly what I wanted to see. And I told you the performance in the qualifiers would determine how we're going to see them, and so it turned out that way. So the Savage Speeders, Wuff, do you want to say anything about them?
Just that I'm happy to see them finally bringing it back. We still got to see how Rapidly is going to do. We don't know like what the situation is with that just yet, but like, I think it's safe to say that it's not safe to say, but it's looking like that the Savage Speeders that we know, maybe some people not necessarily love, depends on who you ask, are back in their back in the swing of things, so to speak.
Yeah, back in the roll of things. It doesn't even work. but yeah, and honestly, Rapidly will be a big factor here, because it seemed that in the first half of the season, Rapidly's lack of performance almost dragged Speedy down and had Speedy starting to not perform well out there. So I'm hoping that the second half of the season, there was some training in the off season, there was some effort put forth in the off season. We're going to see Rapidly come back good next race. But yeah, we'll check a little bit on the fantasy here. I do have my Marbula 1 fantasy up. Waffwood, did you actually sign up for this one?
Yeah, I did. And I guess it's important to note that at this point in time, they actually have not updated it, so we don't really know where we're gonna be. I guess since I'm already talking about it, I might as well keep going on. So I'm currently, based on my race 6 results, I'm 26th place. My two multiplier picks were Momo and the Racers.
Momo.
So Racers, I think they got 1 point, so I got 2 points from that. But I did have the Speeders and the Cat's Eyes as my other picks. And so, got with them being first and second respectively, that's a lot of points, like 25 and 20 each. So that'd be 45, so 47 so far. And then the Minty Maniacs, they got 8 points, if I'm not mistaken, or they got 8th place. So how many points is that?
I forget 8th place. It probably is around 8, so you can just ballpark it there for now.
So then 47 plus 8, it'd be 55. So I probably got about a 55 points haul.
Yeah,
which
not
is
bad.
Actually higher, which is higher than the past 3 races I've had. My high is still was the 108, 95, 89 for the first 3, and then just dipped. So this is a better points haul than I've had the past 3 races. I don't know how high it'll put me, but I think it's okay. I think it's definitely it's going in a positive direction, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, and in the same way for me, positive direction as well. They've, of course, again, not put the points up, but I had, so Green Ducks finished bad, Hazers didn't even make it, so those are going to be negative effects overall. Green Ducks getting 0 points on the day with race 7. Hazers getting 0 points as well. But we have the Crazy Cat's Eyes, the Savage Speeders, and even the Snowballs coming through for me. Crazy Cat's Eyes with a 26, Savage Speeders with a 20. That's a ×2 for me, putting up to 40, so that's going to be a 66. Then you go over the Snowballs with a 12, who will give me a ×3. 12 times 3 is 36. Sorry, that took me a while. 36 plus that 66 points, you're going to be looking at 96, and then up up to 102 points on the race, which is the most I've gotten so far. I am 48th currently. I should catapult up another few places into the top 40 probably when the points come through. So while it wasn't the best points haul, it was not a bad one at all. And I'm glad to start the second half somewhat strong like this with the best points haul I've had the whole time. So yeah, we love to just update you guys on the fantasies, kind of show you what we picked and what we were looking for. Again, I really think the Savage Beaters have a good chance of coming back here. I'm really looking for a strong snowball second half. I mean, we cannot forget. All drama aside, because you know the big things we're going to talk about in a few minutes. You cannot neglect the fact that Snowstorm started in 16th place, 15th place, 16th place, coming out of the gate. And ascended to, I believe, 5th place is 12 points. 5th place.
And they were in 4th and I think 3rd at one point in the race. So like they were really fighting for it.
Yeah, and I said that. I said and I don't remember exactly what I said, but I feel like I said something along the lines a couple months ago that when I look at Snowstorm, I do not see a marble who is super experienced in Marbula 1, but I do see a marble who has potential in Marbula 1. I said I noticed the one race, I feel like it was race 2, that Snowstorm again started in 16th, worked his way up to 2nd place. Then he did drop down back to around 15th, 14th, and it came out in the wash. It was like, you have to end good, even if you start bad. I mean, you have to, or it doesn't matter. If you start and end bad, even though you did good in the middle, it doesn't matter. But Snowstorm showed that potential, and now we come back halfway through Marbula 1, and what do we see? We see that potential now actually turning into something of value. Any marble, I don't care. Start in 16th, you can get up to the top 5. You are a marble that has a lot of potential in Marbula 1, and I feel like that may not need to be neglected right now, especially as the Snowballs are not a bad racing team. Both Snowballs and the Savage Beaters, by the way, jumped up 4 spots as a team. So, again, I'm really happy with these two teams this week, and I'm hoping for more in the coming weeks. Let's move on to talk about the race, rating the track, and the theming. Ooh, this is always going to be a tough one to discuss. So, yeah, we'll start with you, Waff. Rate the track out of 10. Talk about the theming. Talk about what you liked and did not like.
I would say that... Well, for one thing, I the race itself and the track, I definitely have a different rating for. The track, it's like I think it's an 8 out of 10. Because while the track didn't have any much theming on it itself, the theming around it I think was some of the most decoration that we've seen. Right. I definitely I was confused at saying there why they had a beach. But then I remember that jungles can be near the beach, which is an interesting depiction. I never considered them using a beachfront jungle.
I like it
which is actually very interesting. They had some interesting totem poles, some strange structures that definitely evoke, I think, South American.
Yeah, they had some statues there, things like that. So, little sculptures that kind of gave you that Mayan Aztec kind of vibe, which I really liked.
Yeah. But the race itself, I think it might. It might be a 9 just because the way that the track ended up working, the marbles were so incredibly close to each other that I think more than any other race, and it allowed for some really close racing. And if it wasn't for the conveyor belt separating them by a few lengths every time, it could have it's possible would have been even closer, and truly neck and neck fighting and battling between these incredible racers to get to just do the best they can And it could result in more position changes, as we saw. Snowstorm went from Snowstorm has done big recoveries before, but I think I saw a lot of marbles just really going up and down in those rankings, and because they were just all so bunched together.
Yeah, no, yeah, I could not agree more with what you're saying. For me, this track could have been a 10 out of 10, and you guys know exactly why it's not going to be at a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't even have to say it if you've been listening to the other Marbula 1 podcast episodes. But the reason it's not a 10 out of 10, let's talk about why it even is on the table for that. Loved the track. The track was, I don't know if it just, they planned it this way or it just happened to work out that they planned it well and it just worked even more fortunately. perfect balance of twists and turns, plus then breaks from those twists and turns to have a straight to gain speed. The hairpins in the 90s were put in a place where you always felt like the marbles were having some speed, not like a track, I think number 4 or 5, one of the tracks which had that weird dead stop kind of thing, which kind of really messed with the marbles. I think Arctic Circuit it might have been. I forget which one it was. But this one... It was, you think it was? Okay. I'd have to look back, though. But this one was a perfect balance. It was a nice longer track. It had straights for speed. It had curves. It had a good mix of curves. You always felt like the marbles were close to getting to a point where they would gain a lot of speed or having a lot of speed. Like you said, the middle of the pack was very tightly packed, but not too tightly packed that it was like just one giant marble moving, but tightly packed enough that all the marbles were messing with each other and colliding into each other, and then the front line racing, even though we had one of them get out into the lead a lot, Savage Speeders, Red Eye came back, Savage Speeders back and forth. It was a great race, and the track design was incredible. But again, it's an 8 out of 10 for me, because even though they decorated the outside area of the track, which I say again was awesome, they put the little potted plants so it looked like a jungle, they had the beach, they had the background, they had the Aztec little figures from South America, they had it all going on. They even had marbles that look like face paint or something on it. I have no idea.
Wait,
they had a
really?
lot. I feel like I saw that, like some sort of design like that, but they had a lot of stuff
awesome.
there. They had a lot of awesome stuff. Oh wait! In the meantime, actually, why don't I throw the?
You're trying to find it.
I'm just gonna throw the video up here. You guys can watch on the YouTube. I realized that I haven't thrown that up there. But yeah, so they had all that stuff going on, but they didn't touch the track. The track is like the Ark of the Covenant. You can't touch it, you can't look at it, but you can do everything else around it. And so I'm like so frustrated. I'm like, you guys are so close. You guys are so close to something that I can't complain about. I want to sit here. My goal is to sit here one episode and have nothing to complain about. When we hit that episode, you guys got to throw a party, because that's a very rare occasion. But again, they did not touch the track. They did not add, I mean, even maybe a couple of jungle trees connected to the outside of a track that created a sort of like tunnels on the track, you know what I'm saying? Just where the leaves kind of make a big tunnel over the top of the track. Maybe a section where there's instead of the, you know how they have the red and white kind of bank divider things, maybe have kind of ones that look like little Aztec designs on them. I mean, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a sand bar somewhere just to kind of get that beach feel. I mean, something just so I feel. I mean, honestly, it would have been nice if the end of the track where it's at its lowest point was actually on the ground and kind of went a little bit through the sand to kind of get that whole terrain feel. And this is something, these things are not hard to make happen, especially with all the obvious time spent to put into declaration. We'll just take a couple minutes and add some of it to the track itself. So I think the racers feel like it's not just taking a track from the center of a city and plopping it in the jungle. I mean, it's so frustrating. This was such a good track. This was such a good theme. It was such a good everything. They're doing everything right, but they don't touch the track, and it frustrates me. And I understand they don't want to touch the track too much, that it becomes stupid and all the marbles just don't have any speed and it's just hard to see. But just a little bit, just a little sprinkle, a sprinkle of a little extra different terrain here and a little tree tunnel over there, and just something where it's okay, we see it. There's a little flair there because remember, we're trying to make it feel like that. And the Jungle Jumpers hosted this, right? By the way. This was the Jungle Jumpers? Okay. We want to feel like if the Jungle Jumpers were their own separate entity, and I said to them, make a Grand Prix track. Make one right now that we're going to come down, and we want that Grand Prix track to really represent what it means to be a Jungle Jumper. They would have something in the track. There would be something on the track where it actually affects the marbles even in a tiny way, where it has to do something with jungle, something with beach, something there. And it's so close. Someday, maybe if Mel listens to one of these rants, he'll send it up the line. But again, 8 out of 10 wins every day. 8 out of 10 is a great rating, and you still got to give them a lot of credit for their awesome work.
I guess because it's a jungle, maybe they could have had they replaced maybe a quarter or a half of the track with dirt. I could bring dirt in, I guess, but at the same time, because the race was so incredibly close in that middle pack, I'm worried that if they had done anything like that, it wouldn't have been as entertaining in that middle section. So while I definitely would have liked some theming on the track itself, the fact that the race itself was just so good, at least for me, I think makes up for that fact.
Yeah, that's why it's getting an 8 out of 10 for me, because it has to get 8 full points. Honestly, I'm actually tempted, and I think I'm just going to do it right now. I'm going to throw it as a 9 out of 10. This track was the best made track so far in Marbula 1 all seasons. It was.
Yeah. Was this based off, like some of the older tracks, definitely in Season 1, and some of them, I think, in Season 2 were based off of, real-life tracks. Is the same apply to the Jungle Jumpers track? I would love to know any fans who could, maybe confirm that.
I'm probably thinking not, because honestly, I think basing it off a real-life track is a mistake. I think that's because you're forcing it into a certain shape, and that may be much better for cars in real life than it is for marbles on the track. And I think going out of the box and doing something like that, and this might be based, and I might just be completely making no sense right now, but if it's not, I mean, it makes sense. Because what they did is they created a track that is super marble friendly in every way. All turns, all assembly of straights and turns really, really contributed to making sure the marbles had to dodge obstacles, but also could gain a lot of speed, had a lot of smooth movement. It was overall an amazing track. And even in the qualifiers, we saw very close times in the racing, only within 2 seconds, unlike some races where we see upwards of 3-4 seconds differences. So, I mean, it's hard to complain. 9 out of 10 for me. It's just, of course, you're never going to get a 10 out of 10 until we start seeing the actual track being adapted a little bit to match the theming. But again, I mean, what do you want me to say? It was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be the track discussion. I would say that. I mean, there are 2 big topics to cover. I would say one would be Raspberry Racers and the situation there. And the other would be, and this is, I guess, is a big topic for me, though there's not as much to say about it. Team Primary. That is an unfortunate. I'm going to switch over to the regular Marbula 1 video now at this point on the YouTube, so we can just look at it again. That was just unfortunate. But is the question I actually want to ask, I mean, is it really unfortunate, Waf? Do you think that was actually just an unfortunate sequence of events? Or is that action an example of Team Primary just not having the experience that you need for Marbula 1?
I mean, they did good in the qualifiers, and they did good in the race, the 2 races in it. So wait, did the primary start in top 4, or was it top 8?
They pulled. They started in pole.
Oh, I'm sorry, in pole.
They started in pole, and they lost it immediately. And they actually didn't do terrible in the other races. They had 3 0-pointers in a row, but they did have 14 and 10 one time. So not terrible points hauls so far, but not great. But yeah, started in pole, came out, and was in 15th place in the first couple laps. Not good at all.
Yikes.
There's no situation where you can turn that into a positive discussion, and that's a problem. That is a problem, and that is an example, in my opinion, of lack of experience. I mean, lack of just being able to do well and then capitalize on it. Yes, in the qualifiers, when there's no marbles to collide into you, no marbles to touch you, you can get a good time and get pole. Yes, it's great. And yes, when there's only 4 marbles or 8 marbles out there on the track, you can squib by and get that pole position. But when there's 16 marbles out there, and this is the race that means everything, I mean, and you're in that pole position, that's a lot of pressure. And I think Team Primary not being in that position enough just really was their downfall. They didn't have enough experience. I mean, here we're going to see it right here on the YouTube. It's about to start, so I'll kind of hopefully get another look of how it happened. I'm actually going to slow down the video here to 0.25 so we can get a really nice look of it. But it was disastrous. And Team Primary didn't recover either. They did not make it very far after that, maybe a couple placement jump upwards, but that was it. All right, so it's starting here. They're crossing the line. Savage Speeders, again, awesome that they were in the second spot. But yeah, they cross. They immediately go to the right side. Savage Speeders push past almost in the first millisecond. And then they already drop back to 5th place. They're jostling around, and then when they hit that first 90, which is a very sharp, hard 90 on these marbles, they're already falling backwards. I mean, they're getting pushed out by the Cobalts right now, and you can even see some Galactic coming up behind them. and it takes him a little bit to get back into 15th, but look at that, already back in the fifth place, and it's been like 2 seconds. And now, like, you get to a straight, and more experienced marbles at this longer straight would be able to make up the ground or at least establish themselves in the 4th and 5th spot. But they let Mellow Yellow roll right by. They're going to let Midnight Wisp roll right by here, and they can't seem to get much traction and control on these curves to really take it back. So it was just, to me, a lack of experience and overall. And I'll jump ahead here, see if we can kind of see where they drop to. They kind of stay in 5th the first lap, but then it really falls apart after that first lap, down to the 10th by the second lap. I mean, that is an example of a lack of experience. There's no way to get around it. There's no way to get around it.
In the end, where did they finish in the end?
Let me actually grab that for you real quick. They finished with 1 point, so I think that would be like, I have to just jump to the end of the video. Honestly, I don't remember. I don't have it all memorized. They finished. Crap, I'm looking at the qualifiers.
I think it would be more than 1 point because Raspberry Racers, they finished 15th, and that's the 1 point spot, right?
They finished. Crap. Wait, why is I can't find the standings?
It's a bit further back before the podium, I believe.
Oh, before the podium. Oh, yeah. Wait, yeah. What am I doing? And well, I don't even. Need I even say any words about the Limers right now?
Oh,
need I even speak of them? I just see them come up on my screen. No. They finished 13th, and apparently they gave them 1 point or something like that. I have no idea. They gave them 1 point in the here on the Marbula 1 site. I don't know if that's right because it says 0.
So the bottom, like only the top, I think like 10 or 12 actually gets points. So
yeah, I mean they gave him a point though for some reason.
I actually got 2 points fewer than I thought. So no, I actually only got 53. Oh well, regardless, still. Okay,
in your fantasy,
anyways.
yeah. No, yeah, but they're 13th, 14th place finish. Now that we've established that.
Okay, yeah.
And it's just been like, okay, they stayed in 5th for the first lap, but now what? Now we're down to 10th through the second lap? You couldn't hold on to that? And that's like an example of someone who got into pole but was not ready for pole. You know, and lost it in the first lap, couldn't, and like even at the Savage Beaters, they get a stroke of luck where they unfortunate event where they lose the pole in the first lap, they're down to 5th. They're not going down to 10th by the second lap. They're not going down to 16th by the third lap. And so that's just like a lack of readiness and it took over too quickly and they couldn't get their footing. And they just continue to drop down, and that's a problem. That's a problem for the team primary because I mean every team wants to be the team that's at least working towards being able to be the best team out there. Just because we accept the Savage Beaters or the Crazy Cat's Eyes as the best doesn't mean the primary or Limers or Oceanics or Bumblebees are sitting down there like, oh yeah, that's fine. Savage Beaters are the best. I'll just like whatever. No, they want to be there. And for any team primary fans, which I'm not personally one, so this may not affect me as much, for a team primary fan, you're sitting there pulling your hair out. Because this is not a good thing. This is a very, very scary thing. You get pole and you're in 14th 2 laps later. So, I mean, I don't really know what the solution is there, but I feel like more experience will help them. Next time, if they get a pole again, let's hope they do. I think they're going to come out and be a little bit more ready for it. But obviously, I can't actually speak for what's exactly going to happen. We'd have to wait and see.
Yeah, we got confirmation from the chat that getting pole does get you 1 point. So like there is
okay.
Like I guess yeah. Not like the more I see it, I guess it is more like a lack of skill. I guess like they did have that, like they had it and they just kept losing it for more and more and more, and they fought back a little bit towards the end, but like it wasn't by much. So I do think you're right. I think it is just they weren't prepared for some. But they get like it was Rima who was racing, correct?
Yep.
Rima was not Rima wasn't in season 1, so yeah, Rima is new to this.
No, yeah.
Like
well, not like Team Primary did great in season 1 anyway. So I mean, a change of pace might have been better for them. And you see, Rima can get pole. Mm-hmm. That's a good news.
Yeah, that's very good.
You can get there, but you need to make sure that when you get pole, you're ready for pole. And I feel like the second time Rima gets pole, I feel like it will happen. I don't know if it'll happen this season, but it will happen as long as Marbula 1 continues to go, I think they will be more ready. They will be more primary for that, primed for that position, you could say.
Yeah, I think Rima might, like, now that they've had this, they got this experience, and like I guess like maybe they probably have that I guess that little bit of humiliation that'll just help to drive them to do better next time. I hope so, because like primary has not been doing very well these like ever since 2016. Honestly, they really need that something to help push them up again.
Agreed. Could not have said it better. And they need to get up there, and they need to just they need to have that comeback. Last thing to really dive into quickly in Marbula 1, and then we will get to some trivia, which I'm always excited for. And that is the Raspberry Racer situation.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a lot of things in the Raspberry Racer situation that I'm actually unfamiliar with, one being a blue flag. Which,
I actually looked it up, so I can help you with that.
Great. I'm hoping you have. I figured you might have, so I'll ask you about that in a second. Next being what I'm still unsure about what I want to say about the Raspberry Racer's actions. I'm still unsure what I want to say about the end finish of Red Eye and Speedy. But I think the best place to start is for Waff to explain to us, what is a blue flag? We saw that come up 3 different times, twice for Red Eye, 1 for Savage Speeders, when Speedy was trying to get around for a second there. What does a blue flag mean?
I think there
was 3. Maybe there was just 2, but I think it was
just 2.
2 or 3. Either way, they came up, and they were...
I'm pretty sure it's just 2, because the way the blue flags work in F1, I looked it up, is if you get 3 consecutive blue flags and you're still obstructing the racer, you get a penalty. So the fact that the Raspberry Racers didn't get a penalty definitely, for me, says that they only got 2. I'm pretty sure they only got 2.
Then it would only be 2 then. That definitely is true. Now,
I'm not sure what the penalty would be, though. Like, would they lose points, or would they like, because they're already in, like, at that point they were already in last place. They had no chance of winning, so they weren't going to get any points anyways. So, like, would they get?
It might have been an
points?
overall penalty. It might have been an overall. Which would have been interesting. My question for you, Waff, would be: what is considered obstructing a racer? What was Razzie specifically doing wrong in those 2 situations where a blue flag was flown? And I remember Greg Woods in the commentary saying something like, "Oh, Razzie's actually going to be free to race and race normal there." But like, what's going on there?
Well, apparently in I guess in F1 racing, it's a time penalty. I guess so. Or like 3 seconds. I don't know. I don't know if that, maybe that was actually brought up. Maybe that's actually the penalty for the race in M1, because like I'm not entirely sure. Like we have, because we never seen it gone all the way through. It might maybe like we could ask like Malachus at some point or something like that. But like I think what was happening was like the Razzie was like kind of like basically in the other racers' way, and like they would run into them. So I think Razzie cut them off one time. Like they basically stole their momentum, and like that slowed them down, and like they pushed ahead, which then kind of allowed the other one behind them to at least gain some ground. Like it's so I definitely think that like Razzie was a bit in the wrong there, just so like you really do need to let the other racers pass. But I also can respect like not wanting to be lapped. I can understand that. I mean, at one point, like they did lap Razzie, but then Razzie took it back. So it's like
Razzie undid that.
If you're gonna if you're apparently good, like, yeah, I guess like that's the thing. Like, it's not that Razzie is a bad racer and that's why they got lapped. It's because they got stuck. So like under other circumstances, if you get lapped, it's because you're just too slow, and so it wouldn't really be an issue of being overtaken again. But because Razzie is actually at least a decent racer, it's now like a constant battle between the two, and it's like, what do you do? It's hard. It's like, I guess out of role play for a second, it's like, what can you do? But like I can it's one of those things that like that Fubeka wanted to avoid. But like I guess like I mean I'm personally okay with it. Like as long as like they do have a penalty system in place clearly with the blue flag system. So if a marble does obstruct stuff too much, there will be a penalty of some sort. Perhaps in the next race where like they're held back a few seconds or something. Who knows? But like. Yeah. I'm okay with it. Okay, now back into role play. I do think that maybe Razzie should have been more willing to let them pass, but I do kind of. It was also entertaining to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I think I think the blue flag, yeah, it seems, and just watching here, I saw the blue flag be flown there, and from what Waff's saying, it seems the blue flag is a indication of a direct obstruction. Like, okay, Red Eye clearly is about to have more speed right now and get past, and then Razzie is like, just directly like collides into him, not letting him get past. Razzie being a racer who is in last place and obviously will not make up ground to ever get even out of last place, which I don't even talk to me about the Limers. We'll get there.
We're going to talk about it, though. We will.
But just in that position, then directly just cutting off the other racer, pretending like he's battling for first. And I think it makes sense in the context. Again, another blue flag being flown there, not making way for Speedy, making sense, not taking a line that directly cuts off Speedy's movement, not allowing any sort of maneuver, makes sense. Though, again, in the context of marble sports, and I don't really know if they should really put a penalty on that. And personally, we should just remember Raspberry Racers. I mean, in general, they're a good racing team, and they're at their best when they're not stuck in a pack of marbles. When they get out in front like that, they will be a good racer. So that's why it was so interesting, because it wasn't like the Limers getting lapped. It was Raspberry Racers. They're pretty good out there, and you can only expect them to continue to, in their normal racing style, be able to hold off the other two there. So, I feel that it made sense that the blue flag be flown. I would actually not mind a penalty at 3 times. I think that it should be, very clear, like that, sometimes marbles, need to pass, and marbles in first place have that priority, especially when the 16th place marble does not have a chance of getting even close to the winning spot. And that priority should be granted. And you see right there, there was a clip there where Red Eye passed Razzie and then dropped back behind, but no blue flag was flown because that was clearly all Red Eye's fault. Had speed, lost speed. It's a direct obstruction. So it's not saying that you have to let the other marbles lap. It's just saying that you can't directly stop that from happening. You have to stay in front of them by speed, not by dirty playing. So I am okay with the penalties being thrown out there. And that's actually a tough thing. I mean, that could be things people disagree on. So if you disagree, write in. It's a great time to remind you. MSWpodcast@gmail.com. MSWpodcast@gmail.com. You can write into us. We'll talk about whatever you have to say. We'll read your email and talk about it on the air here. But yeah, Waff, any final comments on that?
I guess one of our live chatters mentioned, I think, like, what they could have done is, like, they had, like, Razzie go into the pit lane, or the marbles go into the pit lane and then let Razzie do a lap. Then no more problem. So the problem with that is, like, well, for one thing, like, it'd be difficult to, like, because Razzie was so far behind, they probably could have, like, done something similar to the Racing Marbles League, where, like, they had, like, a gate come out and, like, they pit the other marbles, and then, like, Razzie could then catch up. The problem is, though, is, like, that directly, like, messes with everything. Like, that takes away the lead that Speedy and Red Eye had, and it gives like the Raspberry Racers, like, I don't know how much of it is really their fault, because basically, like, a marble got stuck in, like, that turn, then another marble knocked that marble out, and then Razzie came in and knocked them out, and then Razzie got stuck. But, like, it's like Razzie, I think ultimately Razzie, like, got stuck there because of their own mistake, and it's like, even though, like, it was, like, good sportsmanship, I guess, to help the other marble, like, so, but to give them an advantage to then catch up, I don't know if that's really necessarily I guess it gets rid of the issue of the obstruction, sure, but then it messes with everything.
It messes with the whole race, because, like, if you put everyone in a pit lane, that what you're doing is you're giving no credence to the fact that the distances between marbles matter. If you put everyone in a pit lane and they're all right next to each other, well, then the Savage Speeders and Red Eye's lead don't matter anymore. Because the lead, that big distance is substantial. Now they're going to come out in a pack again. They might as well just restart the race. So, I mean, you can't do that. And in the Racing Marble League situation, the competition caution thing, which they all go into the pit lane, is a set rule that's planned to happen in each race, not something that's a one-off to deal with difficulties. So I feel like that's okay, because it's like already set to happen. It's like a planned situation. But yeah, you cannot. It will mess with the race if you just one-off kind of, okay, we're gonna throw them all in the pit lane this race because of this, unless it's like first lap in, but at that point just restart the race. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about the blue flag. I'm fine with it because it leaves marbles to their own volition out there. They can do whatever they want, and they can and doesn't mean Razzie can't. By the way, Razzie can easily just continue to cut them off. It's just that he'll get penalties if he continues to do it. It leaves them to do what they want.
Will be.
Yeah. We're not sure what it'll be, but it still will be there. So, I mean, that's something that I feel like the penalty system's good because it only punishes the marble doing the cutting off, and it allows marbles to be marbles. It allows chaos to be chaos out there on the track, which is extremely important. Chaos makes the marble racing as exciting as it is. So
the chat also mentions maybe they could have made the marbles go slow. Hey, like, I know that we're role playing a little bit with this podcast, but we gotta recognize the fact that we just they can't just suddenly make the marbles go slow. Like they'd have to raise up a rigid part of the track underneath to slow them down. Like that is ridiculously difficult and dang near impossible. I think ultimately, while we do try to role play and pretend like this is real athletes, we do have to remember that these are just marbles.
It's only gravity, and it's hard to make that effect, right?
Yeah.
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 So I think at this point, well, I mean, I guess we can touch quickly on. I mean, honestly, what do I need to say? What do I need to say? The Limers again, just awful. I don't. I mean, what was that? I mean, just, at least. What? I mean, that's all the words I have for it.
Yeah.
On the last lap, really?
They got caught in the same spot, and they got caught in the same spot, and the Raspberry Racers actually dodged that spot again. So, which just goes to show that, it really is up to the racer if they get stuck there. So, the Limers got stuck in the same spot that Razzie did, and then Razzie just dodged it out of the way and finished. So, which is kind of funny, from the
I can't.
The meme standpoint,
I can't.
even after getting stuck and lapped several times, Razzie still managed to beat the Limers.
It is infuriating because I've accepted that the Limers are not going to be on my fantasy team for a long time. I feel like they will have a comeback someday, but they're not going to be there for a long time because they're just not that good. But I mean, this is just it's like you think you've dug the hole as deep as it can go, and it gets 1 foot deeper, or in the Gel's case, 1 meter, millimeter, whatever deeper, because they do that measurement thing. But I mean, it's wow. Exactly. Yeah. It is like a meme at this point. No matter how many times you get lapped, no matter how many blue flags are flown, no matter how many times you get stuck, you can still beat the Limers at the end of the day. And it is. I feel for the Limers social media poster just having to sit there and be like, okay, well, at least we don't get last this race. Nah, you're gonna get. You're gonna get last. Unbelievable. You almost can't make. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, they did have one good race. They're in 17th right now. They had a bronze medal in race 5, so I mean, I guess it's something. But god awful Limer's performance. It's just I almost can't. I can't believe it. I can't. But anyway, let's head to the trivia segment, guys. If Waffy got some trivia, if anyone in the live wants to send me a trivia real quick, if not, I'll grab one with my own brain. Let's get that music playing. Blah 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 blah. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Why are we even singing it? We know it's playing. All right, let's get to the trivia.
Now it's time for the trivia segment. Come on now, let's go, go, go. Go, go, go.
All right, we're at the trivia, and Waff, why don't you start us off?
All right.
We'll roll through it. We'll let's do a pun. We'll raspberry race without getting caught on the track right through it.
All right. Well, mine's not too difficult, but so in the qualifiers for race 7 of M1 season 2, who is the marble that got the fastest time in sector 3, which is the last sector?
Oh, so in the previous race?
No, in the qualifiers for this race.
Fastest sector 3 time?
Yes.
Ooh, that's. Oh, I know this. I do. Wait, let me just think it through, because I remember one marble who was behind, but then came through in the last sector and got it. Who was that marble? was not primary. It was the marble who did do one better than primary. I can't friggin' remember. Was it Red Eye? Was it Red Eye?
Final answer?
Yeah.
All right. The answer is Waspy.
Ah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. I know one marble had like a crazy sector 3 time for some reason.
Yeah, they didn't put. They qualified middle of the pack, but that sector 3 time was still pretty dang good.
All right. Let me think about a trivia here real quick. I actually didn't prepare one. I've just been so busy, guys. My trivia is how long does it take to do a physics lab for college? Like 15 hours. Actually 15 hours. Ridiculous. Yeah, so it's been just quite a week of college stuff for me. Work is picking up, everything like that. I might even beg out a trivia here because I don't have one.
Really?
Because you do remember, like we were supposed to do the episode yesterday, then life
Right.
happened, and now it's today. I just so busy, dude. So I mean, and I don't because we're doing it at a weird time. I don't have my usual live chatters, so I don't have that trivia coming in from the live
Right,
live
I
people.
got you.
So that's usually my saving grace. But no, I'm out of questions here. Question: will JMR ever do anything to the track itself when they make a race? So that's a good trivia.
I mean, they have done that before. It's just that they haven't done like anything too insane.
Right. But although I do mention, instead of giving you a trivia question, I want to call out Team Galactic, who actually had a pretty good race. They did not finish super high. They finished fourth, which is actually not bad at all. But they actually had some good jaunts up there in the top 3, and I would not forget Team Galactic. They're in 6th place. They're doing their usual finish around 5th place overall type of thing. They do that like every single time, and again, just doing absolutely amazing right now. Though, so just keep aware of them. And hey, you know what? I have a little trivia question now that I think about it. Just a stupid one, just a simple one, but it came to my mind while I was talking about the Team Galactic. In Marbula 1, okay, obviously there are some teams in Marbula 1 that participated in the Marble League Showdown, right, in the past year, 2020. Which Marble League Showdown participant team is currently overall placed the highest out of all the Marble League Showdown teams in Marbula 1 this season, and what place is that? Not a bad question.
Which team is the highest placed?
Highest placed Marble League Showdown team, and what place is it in this Marbula 1 current standings? It's actually not that easy of a one if you didn't just kind of have it at your brain.
Yeah, I saw the live chat got in thanks to Cobalt. I'm not sure myself. Sure, there's Cobalt, there's Primary was in Showdown, right? But they haven't been doing very good, so I wouldn't. Thunderbolts was in Showdown as well. I think it might be Thunderbolts, because like they've been they were in Showdown, right? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. Thunderbolts weren't in Showdown, right? That'd be ridiculous.
Oh. Well, I guess I might go with the Cobalt, but what place would I say? Their current placement is, I want to say 6th.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do a quick check on the Thunderbolts, because I have to just make sure. I don't think they were, because you raised a really weird question. I cannot see the Thunderbolts in there. No, yeah, there weren't. Yeah, I was just having a brain thing right now. So yeah, is it indeed the Cobalts? But the thing is, they are in 9th, so actually not that far off the right answer.
Cobalts in 9th. Okay.
Yeah, because the Bumblebees were not in Showdown either. So yes, it was. I was correct. The Cobalt's 9th. You just got me all wrapped around and confused there for a second. But yeah, that will be trivia. So let's head back from the trivia. Remember, you can send in trivia questions in the email as well, which is always nice. And when we record on the normal day, my live chat will come through for me once more. All right, let's get back to the regular thing. play the music. Is the music playing? What do you think, Wolf? It's playing?
Yes.
Editor's probably waiting for me to shut up and let the music play. I wonder how annoying this is for him. Just to be like, oh, I'm about to put the music in. Oh, but no, he's still going. He's still talking. All right, let's get back there.
That was the trivia segment. Now let's head back to the show. The show. Oh.
All right, we were back from the trivia segment, everybody, and we have one final segment coming at you today, and that is emails, and I love a good emails. So let's get into it. And we got some interesting emails today. I'm pulling them up as we speak. Let's see what stuff we got today. We got a couple emails.
All right.
All right, first one coming in from Edu. Thanks for writing in again. I really appreciate that. Wait. First, no. We have stuff from Alex last week because we didn't do an episode last week.
Right. We didn't do fan emails last week.
Okay, so we got more emails. Okay, let's do Edu first, and then we'll get to Alex and then Richard. So here we go. Edu says, subjected after the pause. We got. I thought last weekend would be boring, but 4 channels I follow uploaded videos on Saturday and Sunday. Well, good job. I'm glad that you had some fun things to watch. Good job to those channels, I guess. 2 weeks ago, I participated in a competition for the first time ever. Links are in the Discord server. Okay, I'll look into that. Questions. What were your reactions to the big growth of JMR and marble racing as a whole last year? Very, very happy. They made sense though. I wasn't super surprised because I was like, well, yeah, COVID, no sports, people want to find some sports, marble racing's right there. So I was like, that makes sense, but I'm still super happy that it's happening, and I think that expansion is going to continue to happen through different mediums. So it's going to hit the news, then it's going to hit TV, then some other celebrity is going to be like, oh, this is cool, let me throw that out there. It's so unique and so awesome. It's going to keep finding ways to grow. Any predictions on what will the next big thing be this year? That's a good question. What's going to be big this year? I think that if Gels Marble Runs does do that Marble Mania X thing they're planning with the X Games types marble sports, that might be big. That could be the big thing of the year. Though, I mean, honestly, I don't think this year is going to bring anything much new unless you're talking about other channels like Racing Marble League, who's awesome quality and going to come back with a season 2 and maybe 3 this year. So I would say maybe Marble League 2021 would just be a huge awesome
season
thing.
2 is going to be a higher quality. Now that because of the studio thing. So, but it's not. I don't know. Could something still be the next big thing if it's still if it's something that happened before?
That is true, yeah. So I don't know. I think with Marble Mania X or maybe the Crazy Cat's Eyes themed Marble League 2021, which I'm hoping they go all out for and get cats and whiskers everywhere. Yeah, but I don't know. Thoughts on track theming for this week's M1 race? Well, we already talked about that earlier, so just go back in the episode and you can't miss it. I yell a lot. Here we go. Okay, so Alex has to say, Alex is cool. Writes in. He said, I had a grat Tim, I'm assuming great time, while I was chicken grit.
Yeah, I don't know what that saying means.
I don't know.
I've heard it before, but I don't know what it means. I can't remember what it means.
Okay, fine. Here we go. Let's see what it says. Once again, nothing to talk about. Geometry Dash, personal interest, philosophy, why MFA might actually be an owl. Okay, dead memes. Take a vote. Wait, it's Valentine's Day soon. I think we'll talk about that. Oh yeah, we missed that week. So happy Valentine's Day to everybody and your sweethearts. Instead of talking about how it's scientifically possible to be as screwed up as I am, I will be talking about how I got rejected. Okay. This should be good. Just kidding. I have no idea. Maybe I'll talk about my favorite. Oh no, I wanted to hear a story like that. That would have been interesting. We don't get those often. So write in your relationship stories, guys. We want to hear those. MSW podcast at gmail. No, dude, that'd be funny. Give some advice or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about my favorite YouTubers in marble sports, how underrated and the quality will be big factors. Also, how much they improve and how often they upload. Also, Gel will not be here. Obviously, he is the best. These are not my best, just my favorites. Okay, I see. So Gel is just the obvious. So we want to talk about other ones.
Right.
Okay. So number 5, Lukion Twin Broadcasting. I clearly have no bias, but for real, he's been on the scene for a year and has 32 subs to show for it. The only problems are he's not professional. His commentary could use some work. and he's not sure what he wants to be. Let me explain. You can see chairs and beds in the background. I keep trying to explain to him why he can't use a bathtub, at least in my head. Second, he doesn't have music or cheering, and the marbles go pretty slow. There's a lot of dead space in the sound. He also can't seem to decide between professional and fun. Really, really underappreciated. Well, it seems like there's a lot of room for improvement there, so I don't know. But okay. Old Fubeca. What can I say? Memories, and these races seem like they weren't trying to compete with Gel. It was just fun. Yeah, old Fubeca was not bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are they saying like the old, like Fubeca back in the past, or is it like good old Fubeca? I don't know what this. I'm not sure what they mean by that statement.
Right. Go ahead. I said talk, Loff.
Well, I was talking like.
All right. Oh, sorry. Go.
Yeah. What? I was just saying, okay, well, I guess just repeat. I was saying, like, I wasn't sure if he meant, like, when he said old Fubeca, did he mean, like, Fubeca, like, before, I guess, Marble Circuits or whatever? Or do you mean, like, good old Fubeca? I'm not sure.
No. Before Marble Circuits. Well, that's how we kind of describe it, too. Old Fubeca, before Marble Circuits, before the drama, before me being the committee president and all that drama that encapsulated 2020. Yeah, he was all right. I watched him a couple times, old times, and I was like, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. Marble Racing Studios. Yeah, they aren't bad. Yeah, that is one I will call out here. They actually have Marble Drum Track, and their tracks kind of look like if you took Gel's tracks, took away all the excess theming, and kind of put them in someone's garage. But they still have the Gel track kind of like, okay, we got an elevator, we got Marble Drum Track. Not bad, actually. I would say check them out if you're like craving just any marble racing you can get your hands on.
I haven't seen them yet. So
if they get bigger, like I considered asking them if they want commentary because I do that. And if they get bigger, or if they get more professional, I might reach out. All right. So 3. That's a good one. MFA is kind of like in the old rundown house you used to live in. This is number 2, by the way. MFA. It's fine, and he just hasn't uploaded in a year. Okay.
The thing is, like, but he talked about like how like he might like he felt like. Yeah, it wasn't like profitable enough so he might like actually like just stop making it. Like I feel like personally MFA like it's too young to be worrying about that, but like that was something that he was worried about at the time. Hopefully he realizes that's not really much of an issue that he should focus on, and he should just be focusing on having fun right now. But like I mean, it has been a while, and that might be the reason why he hasn't uploaded. But hopefully he comes back.
All right. Honorable mentions. TY Domino Guy. I actually did a few races of commentary for him way back in the old days. Those were like my first ever voice times on marbles, and they were a lot of fun. They were also really bad compared to what I can do today, but they do exist. So if you go back into his little archive, I think one of the videos might have said with commentary on it, you'll hear my very old and low quality voice screaming about, oh, and it's blue in front, but it's green, no, on his little homemade tracks. Not terrible, but his channel, not very professional. Eminence Racing from 3 to 5 years ago. I think he might have been better 3 to 5 years ago, but he's not very good now.
I thought he was better. I thought he was better now than he was before. I don't know.
I don't really know. I never watched.
Like when did all like COVID race and stuff start? I don't know. Like from what I've heard, he's been doing better. Like but I haven't.
Akanon always loves to say he's doing better, but I don't. Whatever.
I haven't checked in a while.
And Toy Racing plus the Algodoo League. Yeah. Oh yeah. When I did the Algodoo League and Toy Racing, yeah, those are honorable, worth it, I guess. Oh, and but you should throw in some West Coast Marble Cross in there. I think if the guy who makes that can get more professional, then that would be a really good production because he at least puts a lot of time into it, and the editing's very good on it. And then for number 1, he says, me, of course, just kidding. My real favorite Marble racer is probably the Lucky Titan. It doesn't matter who's racing. I always have a good time.
Well, that's probably the most important thing, I'd say. If you
enjoying your video, the video, no matter what, is always important. So there's one more email, and this one, Richard is gonna hate me. I don't know how to say this, but in the awareness of time, which actually is a constraint for me today because of the busyness that I have coming up in the next half hour, I have to put the rank. This is a huge deal that Richard has sent me. It's an overall ranking of marbles just throughout ever in the history of their performance. All the teams with all the ever points ever from first to last. And this is such an awesome thing that I don't want to just give it 5 minutes at the end of an episode. And I feel bad to again put this off. And Richard probably hates me. He's probably just going to leave right now. But I feel like he's going to enjoy it in the end when I actually give this a lot more time and appreciate it than just like read through it quickly because I don't want to make the episode too long. So what I'm going to do, and I promise this right now, when we do next Saturday's episode, when we record it, even if the most craziest Marbula 1 thing happens, the track is upside down, the track actually has theming on it, I don't care. We're starting the episode with the ranking, and we'll probably just do all the emails at the start, and then we'll talk Marbula 1. That is my promise. That's what's happening. The next episode will begin with Richard's email. It will, we'll do the intro, we'll get Johnny, and then we will begin that episode with his email. We will spend about 10-15 minutes really appreciating the rankings. I was going to do this last week, but Waff had a trip, so he canceled the episode, then he uncanceled the trip, and it's just a whole thing. So he ended up not doing an episode last week, and that's when we were going to do it then. And well, that's okay, Richard, because I'm sorry you have to adapt them. If you want, you could just say, as of last week, these were the rankings. But this is a really big deal, these rankings. These are the all-time any marbles done anything, it's recorded, all 34 teams ever. And it's just really important that I give this the time it deserves. So like I said, my promise, no matter what, I don't care what happens in Marbula 1. I don't care. I don't care what happens in Marbula. I don't care if Gel like just becomes like a god. I don't care. We start the episode with the rankings. That is my personal promise. And Waff will remind me because Waff's not going to forget, right?
I shouldn't. I mean, I might. I will try my best not to.
And Richard's always in the live chat, so he will always remind me. Anyway, this will happen. I'm so sorry, Richard. I hope you can forgive me, but I hope that you'll enjoy it in the long run because I'll be able to give your email more time. Because your email, like I said, extremely important email. This is it's very important to really, at the top of an episode, give the opportunity for all the listeners to understand the full rankings. Okay, the full rankings of every team ever in Marble Sports. He's saying okay, which is one of those, like, I can hear it in his chat. He's like, okay, but secretly, screw you. This is the third time you put off my email. But take that as a compliment because your email was so substantial in its content that I want to give it the time it deserves and not just reading it at the end of the episode. Not to say the other emails aren't good, but I mean, how can you compete with the importance of ranking every point that's ever been achieved by a Marble Sports team ever and ranking that in just oh God, it's so big that I have to just, I'm doing it for the good of I'm doing it for the good of the podcast, doing it for the good of the fans, making sure they all get to hear and we just get to really appreciate it and enjoy that ranking next week. So with that being said, that's going to be the episode. Richard's probably unsubscribing, but listen, dude, just, I love you, man, and I want to give you your email. It's real time. Hey, what if maybe we'll bring him on the guest next week and he can talk to us about the email himself? Maybe we'll do that, and we might do that because then we'll make it up to him. But that's gonna be the end of the episode. We'll have to take us out. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, roll on, Marble Sports fans.